In 1211, the Mongol Empire, a new and fearsome power from the northern steppes, turned its gaze south. Beyond the formidable Great Wall of China lay the Jin Dynasty, a sophisticated and powerful state that had long regarded the Mongols as little more than uncivilized barbarians. What was about to unfold would become one of the most devastating and transformative invasions in all of medieval history. The Jin Dynasty's leaders were confident. They ruled northern China with massive, well-equipped armies, heavily fortified cities, and the most advanced siege defenses of the era. They firmly believed that the nomadic riders from the steppe could never breach their imposing walls. But in their confidence, they fatally misunderstood one crucial thing. The man leading the Mongols was no longer just a tribal chieftain named Temujin. He had unified the steppe tribes and now called himself Genghis Khan, the universal ruler. In the spring of 1211, the Mongol storm broke. Instead of attempting a futile head-on assault against the Great Wall, Genghis Khan demonstrated his strategic genius. He split his vast army, sending columns through multiple less defended mountain passes. This wasn't a clumsy raid. It was a coordinated, multi-pronged invasion. Moving with incredible speed, the Mongol cavalry struck deep into Jin territory, bypassing major strongholds to spread chaos and terror across the heartland. The Jin defenders, accustomed to static warfare, were caught completely off guard. The Great Wall, their ultimate defense, had been rendered irrelevant. The Mongol strategy was a masterclass in asymmetric warfare. Initially, they avoided the large, heavily fortified cities that would bog down their forces. Instead, they focused on what they did best: mobility. They systematically destroyed Jin supply lines, isolated garrisons, and annihilated any field army foolish enough to meet them on open ground. In the vast plains of northern China, the Mongol horse archers were simply unstoppable, raining arrows on stunned Jin infantry formations until they broke and fled. But Genghis Khan knew that to truly conquer the Jin, he had to take their cities. So he adapted. Captured Chinese engineers and artisans were not executed, but were instead spared and put to work. They were forced to teach the Mongols the intricate art of siege warfare. Soon, massive trebuchets, battering rams, and other siege engines, once the pride of the Jin, were being constructed and used against them. Even the strongest walls were no longer safe. By 1215, the relentless Mongol advance brought them to the gates of Zhongdu, the magnificent capital of the Jin Dynasty, the city we know today as Beijing. What followed was a brutal, months-long siege. The Mongols encircled the city, cutting off all food and supplies. Inside the walls, famine and disease spread like wildfire. The defenders fought desperately, but their will was slowly ground down by starvation and the constant bombardment. Eventually, the city's defenses collapsed, and Zhongdu fell. The chronicles from that time describe scenes of unimaginable destruction. The fall of the capital was a catastrophic blow from which the Jin dynasty as power would never recover. With the fall of their capital and the destruction of their main armies, the Jin dynasty was broken. Northern China, once a bastion of civilization and military might, now lay open to Mongol domination. Although remnants of the Jin state would cling to existence for a few more years in the south, their fate was sealed. The war against the Jin was a pivotal moment. It transformed the Mongols from a confederation of steppe conquerors into the masters of a true empire, capable of administering vast territories and diverse populations. They had absorbed Chinese technology, bureaucracy, and wealth, making their war machine even more formidable. The conquest of northern China was complete, but for Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire, this was only the beginning. The world would soon follow.